The House of Spirits was an adaptation of Isabel Allende's novel, starring a large cast of renowned actors. The story of the Truba family over 3 generations and the changing events in Chile leading up to the coup that overthrew the government of Salvador Allende in 1973 features one of Hans Zimmer's most lyrical and beautiful scores, although it is also used for the more dramatic. Some of the music is clear and diaphanous in what it represents, and others are somewhat confusing, but both help to add musical light and shadow to Isabel Allende's story. The music of the opening theme is divided into 2 parts. A first, this one, very dramatic, and a second, this one, which is lyrical and beautiful.
Papa. Come, Papa.
The first part is confusing. It reappears when Esteban receives the telegram informing him of his mother's death, and again in the scene of the accident that kills Clara's parents, an accident of which she has a vision. It will be its last appearance in the movie. This music could represent the idea of death or loss, but the truth is that it does not appear in the scene of Clara's death, where it would make perfect sense. The second part of the opening theme shows the music that will be the main theme, that of the Las Tres Marias farm and what it represents on a family level.
Papa. Come, Papa.
This opening credits scene is actually the final scene of the movie, told in flashback. I will come back to that later. Plot-wise, this is the starting point of the main theme, with Esteban in a gold mine, looking for the fortune with which he will be able to build his empire. The music accompanies him throughout the whole process and time.
Years, my father succeeded in building up Tres Marias to be one of the most productive haciendas in the country.
Once he has the fortune, his next possession will be Clara, his wife, and so the music plays again at their wedding. Significantly, the final appearance of the theme is not related to the property, but to Esteban's political career as a recently appointed senator. It is the culmination of his ambition and what he has built all his life, but it will also be his destruction. The musical theme will not appear again, so much so that in the real ending, the chronological one, the theme does not appear where it appeared at the beginning of the movie. Here, at the beginning, it functions only as a prologue, showing what will be lost.
Show me you love me. Show me I'm your husband.
In contradiction and contrast to the main theme, Esteban has a dark, somber musical motif that always reappears to emphasize the terrible nature of his actions and the consequences they will have for him.
Very, very strong. Give me the car keys.
Can't find anybody who can or will help me find my daughter.
It is music that weighs on him like a burden that is projected onto his family.
Can I see your papers, sir?
And it also plays when he does good, as when he helps Pedro, whose misfortune he was a part of, to escape. And finally, it is the music of his expiation.
Your son. Look at him. I named him after you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Esteban Garcia is his illegitimate son, and somehow musically related to his father with a music that is sinister, sibylline, and threatening.
Who are you?
Esteban Garcia.
My mother and father are not in.
I know. Will you give me the reward? Patron?
How do you know?
Everybody knows where he's hiding.
Readers don't get rewards.
The pretensions of this music to the character are more than obvious.
Doesn't respond anymore.
However, there is a great confusion with this theme, and that is that before it appears with Esteban, it is heard in the scene in which Clara observes her dead sister. It is the same music, but it does not make much sense that it is
It was
here.
her fault that Rosa had died.
Clara has a theme, melancholic. Apparently, the music is from her dead sister, who was engaged to Esteban.
Couldn't you have waited for me, Rosa? Why did you wait for me? If I'd known you had such a short...
Clara will be eventually his wife, and her music will be
Mother
hers.
stopped speaking. She lived in a world of her own, wrapped in her fantasies.
It expresses her introversion and her unhappiness. A music of unhappiness that extends to the scene when, as an adult, she goes in search of her mother's head.
Too far away from where the accident is? No, it's here. No, it is. Tell you? It's here.
And again, at the birth of her daughter Blanca, which adds an air of foretold tragedy. Blanca is musically the opposite of all the rest. Her theme is positive. She shares it with Pedro even though it is hers. The music speaks of her strength and determination. of her passion and will to live, and her nobility of spirit. The theme has a second, more emotional part. Blanca's theme finally sounds with her father as music of forgiveness and reconciliation.
You did your best, Papa. I once was very angry with you.
It is the light that shines brightest among so much music in the shadows.
Between events, like Mama always said.